Right, everybody, looks like autumn's finally here, along with the wind and the rain and the crap. But it's not raining today, so I thought I'd get out with the M3, do a bit of essential pest control. And point of this video is just to talk about this gun. I didn't want to do a follow-up review, but I thought, seeing as guns now, I've had it for 4 months or so, I thought I'd just talk you through a few things about my individual setup and what I like about the gun and what I don't like, and just to be honest with a few things. So I'll start with, I have had to take the gun back to the Sportsman Gun Centre because this plenum wasn't refilling consistently or properly. You would fire a shot, take the gun out of the gun safe, fire a shot, and it wouldn't refill. You fire another shot and then it would refill. Looking at the chrono, you'd get some weird results. I was getting, like, my tune at the moment is for JSB Hades. They're coming out about 920 feet per second. I've got my reg set, front reg set to 150 and my second reg set to 125. So I was finding I was getting a weird thing happen with the pellets where I was getting a muzzle velocity of like 960s all of a sudden, and that's not good because that's showing obviously, well, it meant that it was grouping high, and the consistency's gone. So I took it back to the Sportsman, got it booked in yesterday, and I was expecting them to say, well, they told me a week turnaround, but then they rang me within 2 hours and said they'd done it. They changed the gauge here. He said the gauge was sticking. He measured what was going on with the pressurization of the plenum, and he said it was very, very consistent. So he doesn't think there's anything wrong with that. Obviously, he said if there is any more faults with the gun to bring it back, but that's all I've had go wrong with the gun. Just a couple things, like with my setup. I've got the Sabre Tactical, not on at the moment, but the Sabre Tactical field monopod. I found that once as I was adjusting the rifle, I wish I bought it now, but you can't twiddle it up. It makes the rear go up and down. I found that it was unscrewing itself, so I needed some Loctite on that. That was just one thing that, although being very impressed with the Sabre Tactical setup, all the gear they sell, that was one thing I just thought maybe they could have just put a bit of Loctite or anti-vibrational stuff, or some form of thread locker on it. That would have been alright, because you drop that in the field and you lose that, and that's you buggered, because that's a lot of money that you just let go in the field somewhere. So yeah, moving on, I changed the pistol grip. That is a Ergo Deluxe Tactical. It's got vastly more palm feel for my hands. There's a lot more of a swell there, and I definitely think is an improvement on the original FX pistol grip. I think that one's about 50 quid. But that is great. That is what it makes you feel more confident when you shoot. You're getting less, I'm finding you feel more locked in for some reason. Right, with my setup, these Eagle Vision mounts, I've had a couple of YouTubers mention this before, and I didn't have any problems with it, because I had Eagle Vision mounts on my Red Wolf. But with the M3, I got these Infinity one-piece mounts, and I'm finding that I'm losing my threads in here. So somewhere on the other side, I can't show you, but well, I can't reach over. There's a thread missing on one of these Allen bolts. There, or maybe where is it? Somewhere around there. That's not really good. You're paying a lot of money for these Eagle Vision mounts, and they're being let down by these screws. So at some point I might change. I don't really want to go down the road of like getting Spur or these really expensive adjustable mounts. I think I might just get some FX no limits, or because I've got 20 MOA built in with the rail on the M3 already, I think I might just get some Element fixed mounts and see how that works. I'm going to do a bit of a question asking around the forums first to see if I do need, you know, if I how can I say, with these infinity mounts you can adjust the scope, you can tilt it, but obviously with fixed mounts you don't. But when you've got 20 MOA built in already, then you're ahead of the game already. So I'll see about that. But I mean, the Titan's got a lot of adjustment anyway, so I should be okay. But on with the scope now, the Titan, it's a great scope. I've said in the past it's heavy, but my style of shooting, I just shoot out of this thing here, so I don't really need to get up and, you know, carry this weight around. So weight's not an issue, but it is a heavy scope. It is a beast of a scope. I'm finding that compared to my Hawk Frontier, they're a similar price bracket. Compared to my Hawk Frontier, I'm finding I prefer the Hawk's eye relief compared to this. But that's just my eyes and my preference. Somebody else might not find a problem. Otherwise, the scope is flawless. It is a brilliant scope. I'm probably looking at changing the flip up scope covers that come with the Titan, as I think they're cheap and they do the job, but they get knocked all around, and I've already managed to break the rear one. So yeah, I mean, it's good that they send them with it, but I definitely would think that it'd be best to get some proper ones as well. Right, speaking of a few things with faults and that, I just remembered something. Right, 580cc bottle, I've got two of them, and the one that come with the M3, the valve started to leak, so I changed the O-rings. The guys at the Sportsman, one of the techs, told me that maybe the valve hasn't reset itself properly, but bit of research on the forums, like everybody does, and what I like to do, and soon found out that the actual valve, the valve seat, had become nicked and damaged, so that needed replacing, which was kindly done by a gentleman called Jeff Mann. I think he's Sub 12 Air Gunners on YouTube. He's got an eBay. He sells his stuff on eBay. It's all very good gear, and yeah, he replaced it for me, so I've got that all working again. But that's not very good, but not really nothing to moan about it. I think if I probably had FX before, I would have found that would have happened, and there's plenty of help on YouTube with the guys on there. Airbucks, I think he showed. That's where I watched a video to show how to change a valve out and that. But obviously I got Jeff Airgun at Sub 12 Airgunner to do it. I have put in on the barrel, I've put in a carbon fibre sleeve. It's cheap, it's 23 quid. I have not noticed any difference in accuracy, but there is certainly, even though it's obviously a fully floating barrel, there's certainly less twanginess with the barrel. I'm trying to move that, but yeah, he's going to move, but it's not got that twang like it used to have, so that can only be a good thing. Obviously FX impacts have the liner system incorporated into them, so they're not, well, they're tubes rather than proper barrels. But comparing this to like my Red Wolf, which has got a proper barrel as such, yeah, this now has gone like the Red Wolf, is a bit more rigid. But I'm trying to think, didn't really rehearse this video properly. Magazine. I had issues with the magazines to start with. It wouldn't index certain slugs for some reason. It didn't like the 33 grain Zans, which is a pretty poor considering the Zans they're very good slugs. It would index Pro Hunters and Wildmans just fine. And then all of a sudden it started indexing the Zans now, so I don't know. I don't know why it's decided to do that, but yeah, it's fine now. I bought another magazine as well, and that's indexing just fine. I found that the pellet probe or pin probe or whatever you want to call it in there, you need to put some Loctite on that screw that's going to hold the actual probe into the action there. You need to put something on there, because of that, what happens is the probe will start to drop and it will snag the magazine. So I found that was a little issue, but other than that, other than that, and those points, those honest points, I'm very happy with the gun. It's robust, it's practical, it's accurate, and yeah, I'm very happy with it. In case you're wondering what that is an Eagle Vision. It was a 2-bar scope cam setup that I've not got at the moment because I'm not filming nothing through the scope at the moment. That works kind of good compared to what I have before, where you have the, I should have brought it with me, but the Eagle Vision, you got the universal collar that slides over this. The reason why I got this, I found that the Eagle Vision universal collar was just that little bit too small to slide over this ocular bit, and this is a bit too fat for it, so I thought, well, I'll just use a 2-bar system, which works great. It takes a bit of setting up to do, probably really as a review in itself, but I can say now I do kind of wish with the Eagle Vision that the 2-bar, that the scope cam was sort of sit further over with this 2-bar system, not the universal one's right over, but with the 2-bar system the scope cam just butts up against this bit here. You can get glare and all sorts of stuff happening, but it's one of those things you take a bit of time tinkering with. I'm sure it will work fine, but I'm having a few teething problems with it. But other than that, I am happy with this gun. It's probably one of the most accurate air rifles I've ever fired. It's a lot easier for me personally to shoot than the Daystate Red Wolf, being that that's electronic. The trigger on this, I've not touched the trigger on this, but it's a lot, more it's more mechanical as this is, but other than that, I'm happy with it. One point I'd like to make as well, and I've only found this occurring with a friend of mine's M3, is the whole point of being able to have this quick tune system. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I took the assumption wrong that you could swap tunes with your friends and stuff who's got the same rifle, people on forums, etc. I found that when I got the tune, I got a tune originally from somebody who was kind enough to give me the tune for the slugs, and that tune worked great with my rifle. I was holding those slugs at 30 yards and then grouping sub MOA at 100 yards, and you'll see that in that video that I'd done beforehand. When I gave the same tune to my mate, exactly same caliber, same setup as mine, it didn't work. So, and I've seen a few people have said this, where they've got, obviously I thought it would get you in the ballpark, but with my friend's 2.5 FAC M3, it did not even get in the ballpark. So I'd just like to make that point there, that the ability to exchange tunes is a somewhat, I wouldn't say spurious, but it's a bit wishful thinking. The fact that these guns, I mean, they're all made in a factory, but they're all going to have something about them that's a little bit different, and that's going to affect the tune. And to people who've had FX impacts for some time, then they will be able to soon know that that is the case. But that's all I've got to say to this on this. Other than that, I'm very happy with the gun. It's mechanical, things do go wrong, but it's a lot of money, isn't it? So for this gun, so you would want it to be perfect, but that's not the case. But other than that, I am happy with it, and I hope to continue with it. So yeah, thanks for watching, and have a good day.